Kern, high drive, center field. That one is gone. Sooner or later, the Cardinal were going to take advantage, and Terry Kern sends it out. Tying run at the plate. And that's a grounder, possible 2-ball. 1-2, ball game. The Stanford Cardinal win on senior day, and what a gift from the sophomore Alyssa Houston to her senior teammates. She pitches a shutout.
Stay back and hit it right back to where it came from.
Clements gets the hit she wanted there. That goes into center field, off to the wall. And that's going to score in Jones. This is also going to score in River. And the Cardinal take a 2-0 lead.
Early part of the season for softball, this is where teams can really start to mesh together and figure out their groove. That one's a high drive. Left field. That one is gone. Reina Zermano out the house. Her first home run of the year. And San Jose State tacks on 2 more.
River Mailer gets a single. This is going to score Jones in. River Mailer. And the river continues to flow for the Cardinal.
Good hit from Noriega can get McDowell home. The 1-2. Noriega. Left center field. That one drops in time. Noriega to second. And she'll hold there. Going all the way home. Both runners score. What a start for the Spartans in the bottom of the first. Amaya Noriega with a 2 RBI double.
First game of the tournament. Where's the difference? As that one's going to go up and over. Some early success for McKenna. That one gets the drop, and that's the first hit of the night for the Lancers. The YMCA, a song that could get anyone going at any stadium, no matter what sport. Welcome back to the ACC Network here at Stanford Stadium. As the Stanford Cardinal leading right now, 2-0. They put up 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now they move back to Alyssa Houston at the mound. She was able to get the Stanford Cardinal out of the jam that they faced in that top of the 4th inning. And Houston's had a lot of success so far to this point.
Looking more and more comfortable out there in the circle.
And going against Kelly Ayer. So second in the order is Ayer. Following that, Bella Cabral, Macy Eaton. Those 3 are due up in this inning, the top of the 5th. So Virginia is facing a tough situation as that one pops up into foul ground, and the catch is made. Jay Berry runs under that one and already 1 away in the top of the 5th.
Getting the first out here is huge, just from the mental side of things, to keep the momentum on your side. So yes, just get the hitters to just miss. That's what your job is as a pitcher. Let the defense work. Jade Berry getting the job done. That was a very important tone-setting moment for Stanford.
Virginia has only had 1 hit to this point. Another pop-up. Not having to run too far to get that one is River Mailer. And 1 pitch, 2 outs. What a job from Alyssa Houston.
You'll take that efficiency all day long, especially since she already had those couple of innings under her belt, a third of an inning. Coming into this, that's exactly what you want.
Macy Eaton up to bat, and she takes ball 1. Macy Eaton grounded in her first at bat and walked in the 3rd. The 1-0. That's grounded. Great pickup. And what a quick inning for Alyssa Houston. She is on fire at the mound. A 1-2-3 inning, and the Stanford Cardinal hold their 2-0 lead. Taking over with a 3.23 ERA on the year, 8-2 win-loss record, and Would you say it's surprising with the way Lane was playing to this point, or do you think this is kind of the right move?
It's an interesting move. I think both teams, looking at their pitching staffs, are trying to keep the hitters off balance as much as possible, so they're having shorter appearances. At the same time, Henley did throw really well in Friday in Game 1. She started that one, and it was her first appearance since April 1st. Only gave up a couple of hits in that outing, so she also had some success against Stanford. So again, we might not be done with Lane as well either. She could always come back in.
And the Cardinal have been off balance on the offensive side. 3 up, 3 down in 3 innings for the Cardinals. So now resetting to the top of the order is Taryn Kern. She had a ground out to second in her first at-bat. Facing a 2-0, and that's another one. That hits off of her foot, though. And that makes it a 2-1 count.
Kern actually looking for her first hit in this series, too. However, she has walked multiple times. She's been hit by a pitch, so she's been on base a ton. And she's put the ball in play a few times, but I think looking to make that contact, kind of get that monkey off your back, this is the perfect time to try to make that adjustment.
Oh, can really waken up the Cardinal offense as well. And that's a good take. And a walk for Kern. So this is the first batter for the Stanford Cardinal to get on base. Still no hits registered, but now a runner on to start the bottom of the 4th.
Breaking up the perfect game that was going there. And Kern is the one, not surprised to see her do it. Leads the team in walks, set the program record last year in 2024 on the season.
And now goes into the bat of Emily Jones. First pitch swinging and first pitch missed to make it 0-1. Emily Jones, she also grounded out to second base in her first at-bat, just her second appearance so far at the plate. Again, batting at a .463 on the year. Fantastic hitting from her.
She was leading the ACC coming into this weekend.
That was a very successful bunt by Emily Jones. Hung up in the air just long enough for her to react, and the great speed from Jones gets her to first. So now runners on second and first in scoring position with River Mailer coming up.
I think the Stanford fans were holding their breath a little bit when they saw that go in the air, but enough time for it to land. However, it looks like potential review here.
Yeah, it's going to have to be checked up on as the officials are going to be going over to the screen. That one did look a little interesting. It didn't really garner much of a reaction, too, from Henley. She kind of hung there in the moment as the ground ball went there.
I think typically for those plays, the corners are really taking over, and the way that Virginia has approached it is having Kuhn really way up in front of third base in her kitchen for Emily Jones every time she's been in the box because they know she can lay down a bunt. But it hung in the air a little bit too long, but not long enough to come across and make the grab. It was a close play at first.
As we have the official replay here, we can maybe try to see from our own viewpoint if we can make, if it's close enough to make a call one way or the other. Now remember, the call on the field is safe. So that's always worth mentioning, you know, when you do reviews, if it's something that feels like it's too close to call. But as we could see,
oof, extremely close.
Extremely close.
That's the thing. I'm glad you pointed out the call on the field because they have to have enough evidence to feel like they can definitively overturn what was already called. And that's an extremely close play. I think it's tough to say that, okay, there's enough evidence here where we can change this call. However, such a close game. I totally respect Virginia for asking for this video review in this moment.
yeah, and that's the thing a lot of people, you know, get wrong about reviews. Is it's not so much about making a full call. It's about, is it something that's worthy of overturning the call that was already made, as we have the officials coming out. And we're going to see, and she is safe. So a runner on second and first for the Stanford Cardinal here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And River Mailer, with no outs here, has a great situation. What a tough start for Henley.
It is tough. I mean, a perfect 3 innings coming from Lane to get the start there, and that's the first hit of the ball game for Stanford. So the perfect game was broken up. Now the no-hitter's broken up. Cardinal have some confidence in this moment.
And first pitch swinging for Mailer. She misses on that one. That one died off just before it got to the plate. Mailer, in her first at-bat, she flew one out right into center field. Easy catch was made by Ayer. Swing and a miss, and an 0-2 count. Mailer really aggressive on the first two pitches.
While they've seen Henley already, the Stanford batters have not seen her since the very beginning of this series. So I think the adjustment will still need to come. Trying to call back, okay, what did we see in those sequences?
And good contact there, stays alive. River Mailer batting at a .423 on the year. She has 14 doubles, 8 home runs, 43 RBIs. That's third on the team. The 3 RBI leaders are actually coming up in this order. Goes from Mailer to Berry to Chan. That's a good take from Mailer.
I like that idea. Go there again. You saw her chase it once. Why not? But you said it. A good adjustment there from Mailer to lay off.
It's a 1-2 count. And Henley trying to put the first batter away. That one's going to be lined out right into the gap. And the Stanford Cardinal are the first ones to draw blood. An RBI hit, and this place is exploding.
A great job by Mailer. Gets the hands inside this one to split the gap on that right side. Plenty of time for Kern to come around and score, but Jones also now all the way at third base. You could tell that it was brewing. The Cardinal momentum was starting up, and now they finally push through.
Runners at the corners for the Stanford Cardinal. And Jade Berry now up to bat. A dangerous hitter, the team leader in RBIs this year. She has 50 registered as well as 12 home runs, batting at a .338 as that first pitch misses the zone for ball 1. So again, we have to always look back at the move that Virginia made, moving to Henley after Lane was on pace for a perfect game. And that really broke up the rhythm that the Who's had. Defensively, at least.
And Lane, not only was she doing well because, you know, she got 9 hitters out in a row, but she didn't get any strikeouts. She just let her defense work, but that means she also didn't give away any free passes. That's part of what the success was looking like. So those freebie base runners were not an issue, whereas Kern got on via the walk, and then all of a sudden that's the leading run now that we're seeing on the board.
And sometimes it just takes one player to get on base. Changes the outlook of the entire game. The 2-0 is 3-0. And Henley really putting herself in a tough situation. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. And the Stanford Cardinal having their RBI leader with Jade Berry at the plate. She swings on that one, and that's going to go back foul.
Yeah, she was ahead of that one. A little bit anxious, I think, in that moment. But her 50 RBIs, that's the first time since 2015 that a Stanford hitter has reached that mark in a single season. A decade ago. And just a sophomore, too.
It's been a decade in the making for the Stanford Cardinal team. Not just that, but they're absolutely on a tear in the home run category this season. So a 3-1 count. Berry swings on that one. That's going to go into center field. Catch is made, and the sac fly is worked to perfection. Emily Jones gets home, and the Stanford Cardinal with the 2-0 lead.
An intelligent out, a productive out. She actually got a hold of that one on a rope from Jade Berry, and deep enough, that's all you need to do for the speed of Jones to let her get home. Such an important insurance run in a game where runs have been extremely difficult to get.
Again, up to this point, the Stanford Cardinal had no runs, no hits going into the bottom of the 4th. For the Who's, it's a similar case. They only registered 1 hit to this point. That one strikes Hartgrove right in the stomach, it appears. And she's down at the moment. That's not a great sign.
Right away, the staff coming out to check on her.
It appears it hit her off of the knee and then into the arm. So that's the dangerous thing, is it hit her in an area where it didn't seem like she was padded up too much. So
yeah, you wear all that gear, but sometimes it'll still find you, unfortunately.
it's low percentage chance, but still something that's at a risk of happening.
You know, off the foul ball, sometimes that does happen with bunts specifically too. The spin off of it. Such a short distance. Tough to react in those moments. Not a lot that she could do. But she's on her feet, which is a great sign.
It is a great sign. Sydney Hartgrove, the senior for this Virginia team, batting at a 291 this year. She's had a good outing for the Who's and just took a hard hit. She has to walk it off a little bit to the back. And what toughness from the senior.
And that's a huge shout out to catchers as well. They are tough as nails back there, and Sydney Hartgrove is no different. You could tell the senior knew she needed a minute. The coaching staff knows her well. Give her that, and of course the stands here, certainly round of applause for her as she's going to be back in it.
Yeah, the senior from Happenstead, North Carolina, shows her toughness. She takes a tough hit, but stays in and stays ready. So now, as we get back into play, it's going to be a tough work back for Henley. One gone in the bottom of the fourth and a runner on first. Going up against a dangerous batter with Kira Chan. Chan, as she watches that first pitch go high for ball one, she's batting at a .410 this year. And also worth mentioning, she's second on the team in RBIs, now tied with River Mailer as Mailer picked up her 44th RBI. Just a couple at bats ago. That one gets away. And going all the way to third, stealing 2 bases off of the wild pitch. Bites off a little bit more than expected there. And now another sacrifice fly is a possibility.
A great read by River Mailer on this. She sees it not only go behind, but also that Hartgrove couldn't find it for a minute, so no hesitation, turns hard around second base. That's that aggressive base running that Stanford is known for.
And it pays off for the Cardinal. They're already leading 2-0. And Henley has put herself in a bind. 2-1 count. Chan, good eye, 3-1.
One back on that sac fly initially from Barry too. Actually, Mailer was well off first base, trying to see could that get over her head, because if it could, she was going to try to score from first, but then bulleted it back to first, and then this is exactly why, so she could put herself in this situation to take advantage of the speed.
That one's popped up in the infield though, so not the fly ball that the Cardinal were looking for. That's going to hold Mailer at third, and now 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. So just what Henley needed.
Yeah, it was a great job by her. I mean, she missed a ton of the 2024 season because of injury, but came out hot here in her 5th year. And that was more of a mental overcoming of the moment there than anything else.
As coming out just to have a word. And it looks like the Who's are possibly going to go into their bullpen here as we wait and see who it is that's running out. This is Eden Brigham. 2.19 ERA, 15-8 win-loss record. He's made 34 appearances this year. That's most on the team for Virginia.
Yeah, they're not messing around. They're bringing in the big guns with the ace, Eden Brigham. She's somebody who has been so steady for them in the circle, has eaten up the most innings by far out of this staff of 5 for Virginia. And she's had some success against this Stanford lineup this weekend already as well.
Eden Brigham, 6 saves on the year as well, and all she needs to do is put one away here in the bottom of the fourth to put an end to this one. and start moving on and looking ahead to the offensive side in the 5th inning. But a tough batter at the plate going up against Economides. Now, Economides, she had a pop fly in the infield in her last at-bat.
Eden Bigham, the 2-time All-Region honoree on the first team, 2-time ACC honoree as well. First team last year, 3rd team in the freshman team the year before that. 6-time ACC Pitcher of the Week, including this past week. Like, she is somebody that Virginia relies on from a leadership standpoint, both when it comes to performance on the field as well as just presence mentally and emotionally as well. So this is a moment for Virginia right here to try to get back in this one.
You have to imagine, too, this is going to be a game where they're going to rely a lot on Eden, not just in this inning, but possibly to carry out a couple more. Eden Bigham, she got the save in yesterday's game, pitched in 2 innings. Just allowed 2 hits and 1 run.
She's known for the saves, too. Program record with 12 in her career. 7 single-season record this year. So she can do both, right? She can come in and start and set the tone and see it through, but she can also come in the middle of a game in a different way with her presence.
Right now, not off to a good start. It's a 2-0 count. That one dribbling straight through the dirt before it even got to the plate. So Economides has some breathing room here in a 2-0. Again, River Mailer on 3rd, ready to go at any moment. And Economides takes time. She wants to have a moment here to gather herself.
And I like that coming from a freshman. You can tell she's gotten more and more comfortable in the box, having had so many opportunities, being in the starting lineup, holding it down over at first base. Take control of your own at-bat in that sense.
And now she has full control in a 3-0. And Bigham walks him. 4-pitch walk for Bigham in her first showing at the mound today. So Economides now at first. And it moves through the Stanford Cardinal order. Kaylin Koch is up to bat. It's up to bat. Again, Koch grounded out in her first at-bat. This is only the 2nd appearance at the plate for a lot of these Cardinal hitters. Again, in those first 3 innings, those were on pace for a perfect game.
Koch had that line shot truly on an absolute rope, a laser out to right field yesterday late in the game.
1-0. That one's popped up. And the catch will be made. Cabral gets under it, but the Stanford Cardinal put the damage in. 2-0 now the score after the bottom of the 4th. It puts the pressure on Virginia to answer here in the top of the 5th.